It was a Tuesday morning when everything changed. Dr. Lisa Rodriguez was drinking her third cup of coffee at the Nevada research base, staring at reports that all said the same thing. Nothing interesting had happened in months. She was a scientist who studied life from other planets, but honestly she was getting tired of looking at empty sky and reading boring data. Then her phone buzzed. The message was short, but made her heart race. Unknown craft down. Need you here now? 20 minutes later, she was standing in the desert, looking at something that definitely wasn't from Earth. The ship was about the size of a small house, made of materials that seemed to shift colors in the sunlight. It had crashed into the sand, but looked surprisingly intact. Anyone inside? Lisa asked the military team that had already surrounded the area. We think so, replied Colonel Martinez, a serious man who rarely smiled. But we're waiting for you. Before we do anything. Lisa had studied alien life for 15 years, but she'd never expected to actually meet any. Her hand shook slightly as she approached the strange vessel. There was a soft humming sound coming from inside, like a quiet song. Suddenly, a door that nobody had noticed before slid open with a gentle whoosh. Lisa stepped back, her heart pounding. What came out was not what anyone expected. She looked almost human. Almost. The being that emerged was about the same height as Lisa, with long silver hair that seemed to move on its own. Her skin had a soft blue tint, like moonlight on water. But it was her eyes that really caught everyone's attention. They were larger than human eyes, a deep purple color that seemed to hold stars. She wore clothes that looked like they were made of liquid metal, flowing and changing as she moved. When she saw all the humans staring at her, she didn't seem afraid. Instead, she tilted her head like a curious bird and said something in a language that sounded like music. Hello, Lisa said slowly, raising her hand in what she hoped was a friendly gesture. I'm Lisa. We want to help you. The alien girl studied Lisa for a long moment, then smiled. It was a warm, genuine smile that made everyone relax a little. She pointed to herself and said, Zara. Over the next few hours, something amazing happened. Zara learned English faster than anyone thought possible. She would touch objects and repeat their names perfectly after hearing them just once. Watched people's faces when they talked and seemed to understand emotions even before she understood all the words. Your language is beautiful, Zara told Lisa as they sat in the research base cafeteria. It has so many feelings in it, Lisa was fascinated. What's your language like? Different. We share thoughts more than words, but your way. This makes me think in new patterns. The base became Zara's temporary home. She was given a comfortable room with a view of the desert, and she spent hours watching the sunset, saying it reminded her of home. She was curious about everything, why humans cooked their food, why they wore so many different clothes, why they had pets. On my world, we don't have small animals that live with us just for friendship, Zara explained to Lisa. One evening, but I think it's wonderful. Humans make friends with everything. Lisa showed her videos of Earth, cities, forests, oceans, and families. Zara watched with wide eyes, asking questions about everything. She was especially interested in how humans live together. You form groups called families? Zara asked, watching a video of a birthday party. Yes, we're born into families, and we love each other and take care of each other, Lisa explained. This is similar to us, but also different, Zara said thoughtfully. We have connection groups too, but they work differently. As days passed, Zara became more comfortable with human customs. She learned to eat human food and actually enjoyed pizza, though she found it strange that humans heated their food. She tried wearing human clothes, but preferred her own flowing garments. What impressed everyone most was how quickly Zara understood human emotions. She could tell when someone was sad, happy, or worried just by looking at them.
When one of the
researchers had a bad day, Zara brought him a flower she'd found in the desert. How did you know I needed this? He asked, surprised. Your eyes looked heavy, Zara said simply. On my world, we share light when eyes look heavy. The government officials were amazed by how peaceful and friendly Zara was. They'd expected first contact to be more dramatic, maybe even dangerous. Instead, they found themselves with a curious kind visitor who seemed genuinely interested in understanding human life. Dr. Lisa Rodriguez found herself becoming more than just a scientist. Studying an alien, she was becoming a friend and a bridge between two worlds. Every day brought new discoveries about how different, yet similar their species were. Zara told her about her home planet, where the sky was always purple and there were two suns. She described cities that grew like plants and people who could feel each other's emotions across great distances. It sounded like a peaceful, beautiful world. "Why did you leave?" Lisa asked one day. "I was exploring," Zara said with a sad smile. "I wanted to see what other life was like in the universe, but my ship had problems, and now I'm here." "You sorry you crashed here?" Zara thought for a moment, then shook her head. "No, meeting humans has been ... educational. You're very interesting creatures." The way she said it made Lisa laugh. "We think you're pretty interesting too." As weeks went by, Zara became part of daily life at the research base. She helped in the lab, learned to use human computers, and even started understanding human humor. She was particularly amused by the fact that humans had so many words for the same thing. But there were still many things about human life that puzzled her. She couldn't understand why humans sometimes said things they didn't mean, or why they got embarrassed about natural things. These cultural differences would soon lead to conversations that would surprise everyone, including Zara herself. Stage was set for discoveries that would challenge everything both species thought they knew about life, love, and the universe. 3 weeks had passed since Zara's arrival, and Dr. Lisa Rodriguez felt like she was living in a dream. Every day brought new discoveries about Zara's world and way of thinking. The alien girl was incredibly smart and picked up human customs faster than anyone expected. "Today, I want to show you something special," Lisa said one morning, setting up a large screen in the research room. "I think you'll find this interesting." Zara sat down, her purple eyes bright with curiosity. Always got excited when Lisa showed her new things about human life. "What is it today?" "I'm going to show you about human families and how we form relationships," Lisa explained, pulling up a collection of videos and documentaries. "You've asked so many questions about how humans connect with each other." The first video showed a wedding ceremony. Zara watched with fascination as the bride and groom exchanged vows, surrounded by friends and family. "This is beautiful," she said softly. "They're making promises to each other in front of everyone they love." "Exactly," Lisa nodded. "Marriage is how humans commit to spending their lives together. It's about love, partnership, and building a future together." Zara tilted her head, a gesture Lisa had learned meant she was thinking deeply. "On my world, we have bonding ceremonies too, but they're different. We share thoughts and feelings directly. It's more ... mental than physical." Lisa showed her more videos. Families playing together, parents teaching their children, grandparents telling stories. Zara laughed at the children's games and seemed moved by the tender moments between family members. "Human children learn so much from watching their parents," Zara observed. "Similar to us, but you use words and actions more than we do." "How do your people teach their young?" Lisa asked. "We share memories directly," Zara explained. "A parent can give a child their knowledge through consciousness connection. It's very efficient." As the day continued, Lisa felt it was time to explain something more complex. She'd been putting it off because she wasn't sure how to approach it. But Zara had been asking questions about human biology and how families were created. "Zara, there's something important I need to explain about humans," Lisa said carefully. "You've been asking about how human families begin and how we create new life." Zara leaned forward, genuinely interested. "Yes, I've been curious about this. On my world, creating new life is done through consciousness merging. Two beings share their thoughts and energy, and from that connection, new life is formed. It's a beautiful mental process." Lisa pulled up some educational materials about human biology and reproduction. She tried to keep everything scientific and appropriate, explaining how human families grow through the birth of children. "So humans create new life through physical connection?" Zara asked, studying the diagrams with scientific interest. "Yes," Lisa said, feeling a bit awkward but knowing it was important to be honest. "It's different from your consciousness merging. For humans, it's a physical process." Zara nodded, taking notes in her own language. I understand. From us, but logical in its own way, Lisa continued explaining, trying to be thorough but appropriate. She talked about how human couples form bonds, how they express love and affection, and how this sometimes leads to creating families with children. But there's something else, Lisa said, realizing she needed to explain the full picture. Humans don't just use physical connection for creating new life. They also use it to show love and bond with each other, even when they're not planning to have children. This is where things got confusing for Zara. She blinked her large purple eyes and stared at Lisa with a puzzled expression. Zara said slowly, "You're saying humans use the same process for two completely different purposes?" "Yes," Lisa confirmed. For humans, physical intimacy serves both purposes, expressing love and creating life. They're connected but separate functions. Zara was quiet for a long moment, processing this information. On her world, things were much clearer. Physical contact was purely for emotional comfort and stress relief, like humans might hug or hold hands. Creating new life was an entirely separate process involving mental connection. The two things never overlapped. "Wait," Zara said suddenly, her eyes widening in complete shock. "Wait, humans use that for reproduction?" Lisa was surprised by Zara's strong reaction. "Yes, that's what I've been explaining, but that doesn't make sense," Zara said, standing up and pacing around the room. "How can one thing serve two purposes? That's so complicated." "It's not complicated for us," Lisa said gently. "It's natural. Love and creating families are connected for humans." Zara stopped pacing and stared at Lisa with an expression of pure bewilderment. "This is very confusing. On my world, we have physical contact for comfort and emotional bonding. It helps us feel calm and connected. But making new life is completely different. It's a spiritual, mental process." Lisa realized she might have overwhelmed Zara with too much information at once. "I know it seems strange compared to your way, but it works for humans." "Strange isn't the right word," Zara said, sitting back down but still looking confused. "It's just... How do you separate the emotions from the biology? How do you know which purpose you're serving?" "Well, humans communicate about it," Lisa explained. "We talk about our intentions and feelings. We make conscious choices about what we want." Zara shook her head, still struggling to understand. "But doesn't that make everything more complicated? What if someone gets confused about the purpose?" Lisa had to admit that Zara had a point. Human relationships could be complicated, and people sometimes did get confused about feelings and intentions. But that complexity was also part of what made human connection so meaningful. "You're right that it can be complicated," Lisa said. "But many humans find that the complexity makes our relationships deeper and more meaningful. And physical aspects enhance each other." Zara sat quietly for several minutes, clearly trying to process this new information. Finally, she looked at Lisa with a mixture of curiosity and concern. "Do all humans find this system... satisfactory?" she asked. "Most do," Lisa replied. "It's the only system we've ever known. What seems complicated to you feels natural to us." Zara nodded slowly, but Lisa could see she was still troubled by the concept. The cultural exchange had taken an unexpected turn, and Lisa realized that some differences between species might be harder to bridge than others. "I think I need time to understand this better," Zara said finally. "Your species is more complex than I initially thought." Lisa agreed, sensing that this conversation had opened up questions that might take a long time to answer. Them realized that Zara's reaction would soon become known far beyond the research base, creating complications neither had anticipated. Dr. Lisa Rodriguez thought her conversation with Zara would stay private. She was wrong. What happened next caught everyone by surprise and turned their quiet research base into the center of worldwide attention. It started with Jake, a young lab technician who was always on his phone. He'd been walking past the research room when he heard Zara's shocked voice asking, "Wait, humans use that for reproduction?" The question was so unexpected and funny that Jake pulled out his phone and started recording through the slightly open door. He didn't mean any harm. Jake thought it was just an amusing moment that his friends would find funny. He posted the short video on social media with the caption, Alien girl learns about human biology. Her reaction is priceless. Within hours, the video had thousands of views. By the next morning, it had millions. The phrase, "Wait, humans use that for reproduction?" became an instant internet sensation. People were making memes, creating remixes, and sharing it everywhere. Lisa found out about the leak when her phone started buzzing nonstop with calls from reporters, government officials, and even her own family, asking if she was really working with an alien. "Jake, what did you do?" Lisa asked when she cornered the young technician in the hallway. Jake looked embarrassed and scared. "I'm sorry, Dr. Rodriguez. I didn't think it would blow up like this. I just thought it was funny, you know, the way she said it was so innocent and surprised. But the damage was done." Within 24 hours, news vans were parked outside the research base. Reporters were trying to climb the fences. The government had to send extra security to keep everyone out. Colonel Martinez was furious. "This was supposed to be classified," he told Lisa in his office. "Now the whole world knows we have an alien visitor and they're all making jokes about it." Lisa felt terrible. She'd been so focused on helping Zara understand human culture that she hadn't thought about protecting her privacy. "Do now, we deal with the situation," the colonel said grimly. "But this makes everything much more complicated." The worst part was how it affected Zara. She didn't understand why everyone was talking about her question. She'd been genuinely curious and confused, not trying to be funny. When Lisa explained that millions of people had seen the video, Zara looked hurt. "They're laughing at me?" Zara asked, her purple eyes showing an emotion Lisa had never seen. "Before embarrassment, not exactly laughing at you," Lisa tried to explain. "They think your reaction was cute and funny. But I know that doesn't make it feel better." Zara sat quietly for a moment, then said, "On my world, we don't share private conversations with others without permission. Is this normal for humans?" Lisa felt even worse. "No, it's not normal." Jake made a mistake. Most humans respect privacy, especially in situations like this. But the internet had no intention of forgetting. The phrase became a popular way to express shock about anything. People used it when they learned surprising facts, when they discovered something unexpected, or just as a general expression of amazement. Meanwhile, Lisa was facing criticism from her colleagues. Dr. Peterson, an older scientist who'd never liked Lisa's informal approach, cornered her in the cafeteria. "You handled this poorly," he said bluntly. "Should have approached the subject more carefully, more professionally." "Now look what's happened." "I was trying to answer her questions honestly," Lisa defended herself. "She's curious about human culture. That's why she's here." "But you've made us all look foolish," Dr. Peterson continued. "The whole world is making jokes about our first contact with an alien species. This should have been handled with more dignity." Lisa knew he had a point, but she also knew that Zara's questions were genuine and deserved honest answers. The problem wasn't the conversation itself, it was that it had been shared without permission. The situation got worse when other countries started demanding access to Zara. The Chinese government sent a formal request. The Russians wanted to send their own team of scientists. Even smaller countries were asking for the chance to meet the alien visitor. "Everyone wants to study me now," Zara said sadly during one of their sessions.
Ow.
"But they don't want to understand me. They just want to know about my technology and my world." Lisa could see that Zara was becoming overwhelmed. The friendly, curious alien who had been so excited to learn about human culture was now withdrawn and worried. "I'm sorry this happened," Lisa said. "This isn't how humans usually handle important situations. But it is how humans handle them." Zara replied with surprising insight. "I'm learning that humans have many different ways of behaving. Some are kind and respectful like you. Others are curious in ways that don't consider feelings." The media attention was relentless. Talk shows wanted Zara to appear as a guest. Scientists from around the world were demanding interviews. Some people were even claiming the whole thing was fake, that Zara was just a person in makeup. The government. Officials in charge of the situation were getting nervous. They'd hoped to keep Zara's presence quiet while they figured out how to handle first contact properly. Now they were dealing with a public relations nightmare. "Maybe we should limit her interactions," suggested Dr. Williams, the base director. "Keep her away from the media until this dies down." but Lisa worried that isolating Zara would make things worse. She came here to learn about humans. If we hide her away, she'll think all humans are like the ones trying to exploit her story. Zara herself was struggling with the situation. She'd expected humans to be curious about her, but she hadn't expected them to be so intrusive. On her world, when someone new arrived, they were welcomed with respect and given time to adjust. I'm starting to understand why some beings in the universe choose not to make contact with other species, Zara told Lisa one evening, as they watched the sunset from her room. It's more complicated than I thought, Lisa felt responsible for. Zara's disappointment. Not all humans are like this. Many people are respectful and kind. You just got caught up in something unusual. I know, Zara said softly. But it makes me wonder if I can really understand human culture. You have so many different ways of behaving, and some of them seem to contradict others. The viral video had done more than just embarrass Zara. It had shaken her confidence in the cultural exchange program. She was beginning to question whether the differences between their species were too great to bridge. Lisa realized that they needed to find a way to move past this incident and rebuild Zara's trust in humanity. But with the whole world watching and waiting for more alien revelations, that was going to be much harder than anyone had expected. Dr. Lisa Rodriguez knew she had to do something different. The scientific approach wasn't working anymore. Charts and educational videos had created the mess they were in. More facts weren't going to fix Zara's broken trust in humanity. It was a quiet Thursday evening when Lisa made a decision that would change everything. Instead of bringing more research materials to their daily session, she brought a photo album from her own life. Zara, I want to try something different today, Lisa said, sitting down across from her friend. Instead of showing you more videos about humans in general, I want to tell you about my own life. Zara looked up from the book she'd been reading about human history. For the past week, she'd been quiet and distant, still hurt by the viral video incident. Why would you do that? Because maybe understanding one human's story will help you understand all humans better, Lisa said gently. And maybe it will help me understand your world better too. Lisa opened the photo album to a picture of herself as a child with her parents. This is me when I was 7 years old. See how my parents are holding my hands? That's how humans show love and protection. Zara studied the photo carefully. You look happy? Your parents' faces show deep affection. They do, Lisa smiled. But it wasn't always easy. My parents had to work very hard to provide for our family. Sometimes they argued about money or stress. But they always loved each other and me. She turned the page to show more photos, family dinners, birthday parties, graduations. But she also included the difficult moments. A photo of her grandmother's funeral, pictures from when her father lost his job, images from when her parents went through a rough patch in their marriage. Human relationships aren't perfect, Lisa explained. We have happy times and sad times. Sometimes we hurt each other's feelings without meaning to. But we keep trying because connection is important to us. Zara leaned forward, interested despite herself. On my world, we feel each other's emotions directly. If someone is hurt, everyone in the connection group feels it immediately. We can't hide our feelings. That sounds peaceful, Lisa said, but also intense. How do you handle privacy? We have ways to shield our thoughts when we need to, Zara explained. But mostly, we don't want privacy from those we love. Sharing everything makes us closer. Lisa showed her a photo of her wedding day. This is when I married my husband, Tom. We promised to love each other through good times and bad times. He looks kind, Zara observed. How did you know he was the right person for you? Lisa laughed. It took time. We were friends first, then we fell in love. We learned about each other slowly, our hopes, our fears, our dreams. It wasn't instant like your consciousness merging, but it was beautiful in its own way. What does it feel like to fall in love the human way? Zara asked. Lisa thought carefully about how to explain it. It's like discovering a new part of yourself. When I met Tom, I felt like I could be completely myself around him. He made me laugh, he supported my dreams, and he was patient with my flaws. The physical connection you told me about, Zara asked hesitantly. Lisa felt her cheeks warm, but she knew this was important. It's an expression of that emotional connection. When humans love someone deeply, they want to be close to them in every way. The physical closeness makes the emotional bond stronger. Zara nodded slowly. So it's not just about creating new life, Lisa said. For humans, it's mostly about showing love and strengthening the bond between two people. Creating new life is just one possible result, but it's not the main purpose. That's what confused me, Zara admitted. On my world, we have physical contact for comfort and emotional support, but it's completely separate from reproduction. We touch to calm each other, to show friendship, to reduce stress. That's actually similar to humans, Lisa realized. We hug when we're sad. We hold hands when we're nervous. We cuddle when we want to feel safe. Maybe our species aren't so different after all. Lisa showed Zara photos of her children to teenagers who were currently staying with their father. While she worked on this project, when Tom and I decided to have children, it was because we wanted to share our love with new people, wanted to create a family. Your children looked like both of you, Zara observed. That's how human genetics work, Lisa explained. Children inherit traits from both parents. It's our way of ensuring the next generation has the best qualities from both families. In consciousness merging, we choose which qualities to pass on, Zara said. We can decide what memories, skills, and characteristics the new being will have. That sounds more efficient, Lisa admitted, but humans like surprises. We enjoy seeing how our children develop their own personalities and talents. As they talked, Lisa shared stories about her failures and successes, her fears and hopes. She told Zara about the times she'd made mistakes, the times she'd been hurt, and the times she'd found joy in unexpected places. Humans are very complex, Zara said, after hearing about Lisa's journey to become a scientist. You have so many different emotions at the same time. We do, Lisa agreed. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but it also makes life interesting. We never know what we'll feel next. Zara was quiet for a moment, then said, I think I was judging human complexity too quickly. On my world, we value simplicity and clarity. Your way seemed chaotic to me. Your way seemed to control too. Me at first, Lisa admitted, but now I see the beauty in both approaches. Tell me about the sadness, Zara said suddenly. I've seen humans cry, but I don't understand why you allow yourselves to feel pain. Lisa thought about this carefully. We don't choose to feel pain, but we accept it as part of life. When we lose someone we love, the sadness shows how much they meant to us. When we're disappointed, it shows we cared about something. But wouldn't it be better to avoid those feelings? Maybe, Lisa said. But then we'd also miss out on the joy that comes after sadness, the relief that comes after fear, the love that grows stronger after working through problems. Zara began sharing her own experiences. She told Lisa about her childhood on a world where purple skies stretched endlessly, where cities grew like living things, where her people moved through life with calm certainty. I thought your world would be similar to mine, Zara said. When I decided to explore the universe, I expected to find beings like us, just with different technology. Are you disappointed? Lisa asked. No, Zara said, and for the first time in days, she smiled. I'm fascinated. Your species has found a completely different way to exist. It's messier than ours, more unpredictable, but also more ... alive. More alive? On my world, we know what each day will bring. We can feel what others are feeling, so there are no surprises. But humans wake up each day not knowing what emotions they'll experience, what challenges they'll face, what joys they'll discover. Lisa felt a warmth in her chest. You're starting to understand us? I'm starting to appreciate the beauty in your chaos, Zara corrected. I hope you can appreciate the peace in our order. For the first time since the viral video incident, Lisa felt hopeful. They were building a real friendship based on understanding rather than just curiosity. And in doing so, they were creating something that neither species had experienced before, a true bridge between two different ways. Being alive? 6 months had passed since that viral video turned Zara's innocent question into a global phenomenon. The research base had finally returned to normal, but was a different kind of normal than anyone had expected. Dr. Lisa Rodriguez stood in the main conference room, watching Zara practice her presentation for the 100th time. Tomorrow, they would address the International Space Council, sharing everything they'd learned about communication between different species. "I'm still nervous," Zara admitted, adjusting the human-style clothes she'd chosen to wear. She'd found that dressing more like humans helped people focus on her words rather than her appearance. "You'll be fine," Lisa reassured her. "You've become quite the public speaker." It was true. Over the past few months, Zara had transformed. From a confused alien visitor into something unprecedented, a cultural ambassador who could bridge the gap between species. Her journey had been remarkable to watch. The turning point had come when Zara decided to address the viral video directly. Instead of hiding from the attention, she'd asked Lisa to help her make her own video explaining what had really happened. "Hello, people of Earth," Zara had said in that first video, looking directly into the camera. "I'm the alien girl who asked the question that made you all laugh. I want to explain what really happened." In simple, clear language, Zara had explained how reproduction worked on her world versus how it worked on Earth. She'd talked about the confusion she'd felt when learning that humans combined emotional bonding with creating new life. "I wasn't making fun of humans," she'd said. "I was genuinely surprised because your way is so different from ours." But different doesn't mean wrong. It just means different. The video had gone viral too, but in a completely different way. Instead of people laughing at her, they started sharing their own stories about cultural misunderstandings. Humans from different countries talked about confusion they'd experienced when learning about other human cultures. "Your honesty changed everything," Lisa told Zara now. "People stopped seeing you as a curiosity and started seeing you as a person." "A person who happened to be from another planet," Zara corrected with a smile. "But yes, I think humans understood that I was trying to learn, not judge." The success of Zara's explanation video had led to opportunities neither of them had expected. Universities invited her to speak about interspecies communication. United Nations asked her to advise on protocols for future alien contact. Even children's shows wanted her to appear as a guest to teach kids about accepting differences. But the most important development was the research they'd done together. Lisa and Zara had spent months documenting their cultural exchange, creating a guidebook for future interactions between species. The key insight, Lisa explained to the journalists who'd gathered for a preview of tomorrow's presentation, is that we stopped trying to make Zara understand humans through facts and started sharing experiences and emotions. "And I stopped trying to judge human behavior by my world's standards," Zara added. "Instead, I learned to appreciate the reasons behind human customs." Their research had revealed something fascinating. Despite the obvious differences between their species, humans and Zara's people shared the same basic needs: connection, understanding, purpose, and love. They just expressed these needs in different ways. "We discovered that my species and humans both value family, friendship, and community," Zara explained to the group. "We just organize these relationships differently." One journalist raised her hand. "What's the most important thing you've learned about humans?" Zara thought for a moment. "Complexity isn't the same as confusion. Humans have many different emotions and reactions, but there's always a reason behind them. Once I understood the reasons, human behavior made perfect sense." "And what about you, Dr. Rodriguez? What did you learn about Zara's species?" Lisa smiled. "That simplicity isn't the same as limitation. Zara's people have found ways to eliminate many of the problems that cause human suffering: jealousy, misunderstanding, loneliness. But they've done it without losing their capacity for love and connection." The most exciting part of their research was the practical applications. They'd developed new methods for cross-cultural communication that were already being used by diplomats, international businesses, and immigration services. "The techniques we learned for alien-human communication work just as well for human-to-human communication," Lisa explained. "When people from different cultures try to understand each other, they can use the same approaches we developed." Zara had also made personal discoveries. She'd learned that she enjoyed teaching others, that she had a talent for explaining complex ideas simply, that she genuinely cared about helping different species understand each other. "I came to Earth by accident," she told the audience. "My ship crashed, and I thought I was stranded. But now I realize this was the best accident that ever happened to me." The room erupted in applause. Zara had become beloved not just for her alien perspective, but for her warmth, humor, and genuine desire to build bridges between worlds. "Will you be staying on Earth permanently?" someone asked. "My ship has been repaired," Zara replied. "I could go home anytime I want. But I've decided to stay here as Earth's first interspecies ambassador. There's too much important work to do." Lisa felt a surge of pride and friendship. Over the months, she and Zara had become true friends, not just researcher and subject. They'd learned from each other in ways that went far beyond their original scientific goals. "We're planning to establish an institute for interspecies communication," Lisa announced. "Zara will be the director and will prepare Earth for future contact with other alien species." After the press conference, Lisa and Zara walked outside to watch the sunset, just as they had on Zara's first day at the research base. "Do you ever miss your home?" Lisa asked. "Sometimes," Zara admitted, "but I've found a new kind of home here. Your species has given me a purpose I never had before." "What's that?" "Bridge building," Zara said. "On my world, everyone thinks the same way, so no bridges are needed. But here, and in the larger universe, there are so many different ways of thinking and living. Someone needs to help them understand each other." Lisa nodded. "You've become something that never existed before, a professional cultural translator between species. And you've become the first human expert in alien psychology," Zara pointed out. "We've both grown in ways we never expected." As they watched the sun set over the desert, both friends felt a sense of accomplishment. What had started as a misunderstanding had become a model for how different species could learn from each other. Lisa said. "Your original question about human reproduction wasn't really about biology at all." "What do you mean?" "You were asking about the fundamental nature of human relationships. You wanted to understand how we connect with each other, how we form bonds, how we create meaning in our lives." Zara smiled. "I think the answer turned out to be much more complex and beautiful than I ever imagined." The next day, their presentation to the International Space Council would mark the beginning of a new chapter in human history. Earth would be ready for future alien contact, armed with knowledge and techniques that could prevent misunderstandings and build genuine friendships between species. But for now, they were just two friends from different worlds, watching the sky change colors and appreciating the beauty of understanding that had grown between them.